Ah, there we are. You can all go together. Hoo, 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 hoo. We are doing it again.
Woo!
Congratulations. Wow, Dina, you did it. You did it
Got
again, girl. You go. Woo!
Oh, Ross, you went off again. There you are. I must really keep my bearings to see who is on and who's not on. Is everybody on now? Yeah, I don't see anybody. Yeah, awesome. Well, I am delighted. I couldn't believe my eyes when I woke up this morning and I saw that we hit number one in all three categories on in Australia. So now we're waiting for the UK, and apparently it takes a while for the UK to update. So if you're from the UK, please buy the book. Please share it with your friends, and support the authors, so that we can do the same thing in the UK. And of course, now it is 9 a.m. Eastern Time in the US. And when we hit that time, we post all the links, because wherever you are in the world, you will see in the post on my profile and any of the authors. I'm going to post it here as well. All the links that you need to actually buy this book today for only 99 cents. And it is the most amazing book. Trust me, I've read it. Every one of these authors have created the most amazing story for you, practice for you, insight, wisdom, and it all comes from love. The greatest love that we have for our own fellow entrepreneurs, that we know we've been there. We know how hard it is to actually build a business. And we have all realized that the best way we can do that is to have a senior partner in helping us. Okay, so ladies, I'm opening the floor. You can just chat, say what you experience, inspire people to buy. Go for it.
We're all getting blown up with messages. It's so exciting. This morning I woke up, I looked at my phone, and I had like 48 messages in Messenger and 26 on Facebook. And I'm like, oh, this must be really good news. So I opened all my stuff and I'm like, yes, we're already hitting. It's just wild to know that the process is already starting and we're already hitting goals. So it's just super exciting to be a part of the whole thing.
It is a phenomenal experience, yes. Okay, Roz. The floor is yours.
This is fun.
Did we lose somebody?
I think Georgina went off. Probably will be back just now.
Yeah.
So
my internet's going again like it did yesterday. I have no idea why.
No, it is really frustrating. Roz, you want to say something?
I don't know if she can hear. It
Oh,
says
yeah.
in the chat she couldn't see or hear, and we can see her, but I don't think she can hear yet.
Roz, we can see you. Let me put in that. Oh, there's a private chat here. She can't hear. I don't see anyone who hear anything, but that's so weird because we can see you. Let me just type here.
Just names in chat.
Georgina's also there. Let's see if I can see something here. Edit name. No. No. Well, why don't somebody else talk so long while I see if I can
I think
if
the
I can
energies
see
are so crazy at
something.
the moment, full of excitement and adrenaline and all sorts of other juicy stuff that the internet's having a hard time.
Maybe if she goes out and comes back in, it will click on.
Let me just tell her that.
So while we try and figure that out, I'll go ahead and kind of share my story and share my experience and stuff. So my story, and if you've been watching, is about being raised by an alcoholic father and how that kind of like influenced my relationship with men. And that was really I guess that's like how my life has been most of the time. Late teens, all of my 20s and my early 30s, I have been trying to convince these men that I'm worth loving. So that's what my story talks about, and how God uses that to help me with my business now, to be able to connect with women and to be able to have compassion and to have an understanding of certain things. Because when we're in the hot mess of unhealthy, toxic, abusive relationships, we feel so isolated and we feel so alone. But the reality of it is, like, 1 out of 3 women will experience an abusive relationship at some point in their life. And so we are definitely not alone. But in that time frame, we will feel isolated. It's a purpose. Like, when we're in abusive relationships, being isolated is one of the core like strengths that our abuser will have. And so I wanted to make sure that I wrote about this so women know that they aren't alone and that there is healthiness after all of the craziness that happens in abusive relationships. And if they're anything like me, because I'm chronic, I was in chronic all the time, craziness all the time, one right after another, relationships and marriages. If they're anything like me, I want women to know that there's full restoration after all the craziness that you can experience in life, and that it is doable. It takes work. Don't get me wrong. There's no like, oh, I'm good today from one, like flip of a switch. But there's a flip and a switch in regards to like your mindset and how it can slowly change and how you can gain healthiness afterwards.
Oh, fabulous. Thank you, Nolzara.
Beautiful.
Kathy, can you hear me? Can you tell us a little bit about you, because you haven't been on any of these wonderful conversations?
Hi, everyone. I was with Dina in her last book. So when she said she was doing another, I hopped in immediately because she has a wonderful energy and a presence and the ability to bring together community and help everyone rise. And love you, Dina.
Thank you, Kathy.
So I have not been here a lot. Like everyone, I'm busy and have a lot of stuff going on. And what I wanted to be with the book about was, of course, when she said success was source, I was like, oh my gosh, yeah, like the missing ingredient that we all forget about when we get caught up in our head. And my story is really about trying to build my business initially, and then more so after COVID, where there was a lot of disconnection, and do it alone versus do it collaborating with God, the universe, and others, and leading to a life of we can all do hard, but we burn out. And it's so much work when we work that way. And I just love watching people wake up to the possibility that we are here to create, and we get to create our lives, our business, anything we want in the world with the entire creative force of the whole universe. Like, it's mind blowing when you go, wow, here I was trying to do this alone, like this little dot and drop of water in the ocean. And yet what I have access to is this infinite possibilities and power. And so my story is about building my business, trying to do it that way, and then taking a look again, realigning myself with my source and who I was, and now driving my business from a place of being in a contract with myself where I am a loving, joyful, connected leader. And everything I do in my business comes from that. And that connected piece is connected to my source, connected to God, connected to the universe, connected to others, connected and one with everything, and moving forward with all of us together as we rise.
Oh, that's
That's my
beautiful,
story.
Kathy. That's beautiful. I just want to let you know that I read all of your stories, of course, and I took notes from everyone. My little notebook. Oh, this is a gem. This is a gem. This is a gem. And I actually see this book being close to me, and just open it every day and read something, because it's just phenomenally inspiring. But Roz, I want to hand over to you now, because you also haven't been able to join this. Tell us about you.
Shoot, can she hear us?
Can you hear us? Oh, damn.
Oh, no, she can't.
Yeah, she
Are
says
you
Oh,
talking to me
damn.
by any chance? Because my internet's gone again.
Oh,
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 sorry. Okay, so I'll just speak on behalf of Roz, and just want to say that Roz's chapter is amazing. Roz works with, she's abundance, a law of attraction, abundance coach. She's got amazing knowledge about numerology, about astrology, about human design. And her story, her journey is where she literally sat with her thumb in her mouth on her couch, not knowing where she's going, and to actually discover the secret, the little book, The Secret. And from there, things just developed and developed. And then she did so well, and then she hit another block. And that was the finances didn't do it. Everything else went amazing. And then she discovered her, what she calls gold trauma. And amazing. And then she actually developed a whole little assessment for people, and that is all in her chapter, to get transcend these little blocks that we have in our business, whether it's finances, whether it's clients, whether whatever. So that's an amazing chapter.
Wow. Can't wait to read the book.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Every book is phenomenal. All right, Georgina, tell us about your story.
Hey everyone. So my story is about navigating all 4 seasons of life. I found that for most of my life, I spent a lot of time, in the summer and the spring, and like the new ideas, the creativity, the doing, the productivity, making things happen to the point of kind of burnout. And so I spent the last year in a place of, I would call it a spiritual winter, where I've retreated, burning lots of things down, lots of purging, and just trusting that sometimes we have to leave everything behind, all the things we've worked for, everything we thought we wanted needs to make space for something new to come through. So that my story is about having the faith to navigate the darkness and the seasons that don't feel productive on the outside, but inside so much amazing things are happening.
And it's very profound, really. And Suli, yours.
Well, actually, I see a relation to Nazara's. Well, actually, all of your stories, there's a common thread. But in my history, it was drug addiction. It was heroin addiction. My oldest brother was a heroin addict from a very young age, so we had all of that. Although on the surface our family was a happy household, there was that undercurrent, that underbelly of the unspoken, because nobody was kind of able to talk about it, and therefore it kind of sat on everything, all the emotions that you actually had no idea you were experiencing. So my story is, having managed to navigate somehow through all of that, I had an incident when I was in my early 20s, early to mid 20s, when my body started to shout at me. Everything was like, well, guns were blazing, everything was going wrong, which sat me on my backside and made me have to think and pay attention. And it was my healing journey from there, and my opening to channel shortly after that big realization, or actually it wasn't a conscious realization, but it was the beginning of a catalyst to healing. And then the journey through, all the healing journey through my channeling and through becoming a life coach, having been a dancer on and off most of my life, and how I managed to heal and managed to find that space where you can put all of that to rest. You can lay all of that to rest. And, you know, even though there are still bits of it you don't know about, there are still bits that are blank, it doesn't matter, because you gain the strength, you gain the support from alignment with source that will enable you to connect with your own inner light, your own inner wisdom. And then I have the pleasure of sharing with people how to navigate to that place within them and how to shine their own light. And so that's kind of basically my story. But yeah, I can't wait to read everybody's stories, because all of them is just, oh, you're all just so amazing. So amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, could you hear me? I wondered if you couldn't hear me anymore.
Allegra also left us.
Oh, I
Her
think she's
internet
had problems. Yeah.
I think
said
her
her internet
internet is
kept bouncing.
also,
Yeah.
her connection keeps opting out. And I'm so sorry that that Ross can't hear us. At least we can see her, and she can wave and she can smile. And of course, as I've said before, we eat number one in Australia, 3 categories: small business, as well as coaching and mentoring, and as well as inspirational spirituality, which is really great, because you see, previously we could have 10 categories on when we upload a book on Amazon. Now it's only 3.
Oh, wow.
You can
And
only
all,
have 3 categories. So it makes it a little more challenging, you know. So phenomenal to all the people all over the world who are supporting us in supporting this book, this energy of this book, so that we can really create it and really take it out throughout the world. And I'm just blown away by it. And now that the US is in, the rest of Europe is in, so it doesn't matter where you find yourself in the world, there's a link where you have an Amazon account where you can get the book from.
and Dina,
If
you know
any-
what? Those
Yeah.
you sourced those 3 categories exactly right. Like the fact that we made it in the 3, and those are the 3 that you chose. Like, how beautiful is that?
How beautiful is that? You're right. Absolutely. And yeah, and you know, the whole thing with that makes the categories very challenging as well is that, you know, it's not exactly the same across the board. You know, to the different countries, it's not the same. So you have to sort of sift through and find something that continuous, that they can, you know, because you can only choose the categories in the US. You cannot choose it per country. So it's only one time, and then that has to sort of play out throughout the world. So, and of course, we really are, now that we have carte blanche open through all the world, through worldwide, we just ask everyone to please share. Please share the links. Please share the links to your friends. And if you can please be so kind to leave us a review. That is so important. To boost the book further is when we have reviews on the book, and of course a 5-star rating, definitely, without question. So yeah, gosh, I think with the other meeting later, I'm definitely going to have champagne. It's still early in the afternoon here, so I had my tea. I think later tonight, I think it's 3 p.m. Eastern time, we'll have the final meeting for today. Definitely going to have champagne because I think we deserve that. And I must commend all the authors. You have been amazing in writing your stories and being patient, because I know I have come back and said, no, I want more of this or more of that, and please change this and do that. And you really were very patient in obliging and responding to that. And it's been a pleasure, such a pleasure working with you all.
It's been such an amazing process, though. I know, I'm sure we all feel the same. It's my first time, but my goodness, it's been an adventure. Oh, an adventure, and transformative. So I'm very, very grateful. Really grateful. An amazing process.
Yes, and I have to agree. It has been a life-changing experience for me because this is also my first time. And I think the best part is there's so many of us that do want to write a book, but we don't know what the hell to do, right? We're like, oh, where do we even start? But doing something like this on this type of scale, I loved the fact that I was able to reach out to you, Dina, with like, even I felt like the silliest questions, like, what do I do here or whatever, and having the support the whole time. What is the name of your little the writing course that I did?
Write your story.
Yeah, so I did
workshop.
that.
Write your story workshop.
Yes, the workshop. I did that, and that really created a space for me to be able to write regularly. And then I think you, with the input that you had every day, because it's 7 days, so you had different input, it really put things in a perspective on how to write my story. So instead of it being so broad, I was able to like bring it in a little bit, and I knew like who my audience was and how I can use this for other things too. So just the whole process in general, I love that I had somebody to hold my hand the whole way. Because that's what I need. I need that. I have ADHD, so I'm all over the place. So the fact that I have somewhere to hyper focus on was like phenomenal for me. So I really appreciate the whole process and just doing everything, and then being part of the book, and then being part of something so big all over, not just here in the US, but the whole world. Like, it's been a blessing for sure. God is really good in this process, and I think everybody individually has grown from it and has healed from even just writing. Like, there's a difference when you put the pen to the paper or you type things out. Things just come forward in a different way than articulating it with somebody. When you write those things down, it just is a whole different experience. So I just want to say thank you for creating that experience, the space for us to have these experiences.
Oh, such a pleasure, Nilzara. And yes, we need that. Hey, we need the space to just write. We just talked the other day about Suli sending her first draft, and it was 10,000 words. And I said, Suli, that's amazing, but we need to cut off a few pieces here so that we can end up with 3. But I'm very excited that Ross can hear us now. Am I right, Ross? So please talk to us, Ross, but you muted, You muted yourself.
Yes, I did. Hello, good morning, everyone.
At last.
Okay, so, as you embark on this entrepreneurial trek, especially when you're on the internet and things, the dream is that you wake up to these magnificent announcements on your phone. And what a treat to wake up to the fact that we are already a #1 international best-selling book. It was like dream come true. Yes, yes, yes. So it was fabulous. This is, for me, part of the experience is being with all of these magnificent, wonderful women who the universe has called together to create this tribe. And it's just such a pleasure and such a joy to work with women who are changing the world and making a difference, and being part of that just warms my heart. And everything I've created to send out to people about the book, I end it with, may this book be a blessing to you. And I believe that everyone that just open this book scroll up and down and hit wherever you're guided to hit so that it opens the book to wherever you're supposed to read, and just soak in the message that is for you today in this moment, and allow it to just wash over you, because our intention is so much more than some books are. Some books are just, let's sling this thing out there and see what we can do. But this book was created with heart, with soul, with the intention of taking the universe past where it's ever been before and bringing deep love and healing to the world. So thank you, Dina, for bringing it together. So much honor. It has been a joy to walk hand in hand with you through all the ups, downs, backwards and forwards. And it's just been a joy.
Oh, thank you, Ross. Thank you so much. And yes, it has been a phenomenal journey. I actually wanted to say something profound, and then the thought just left me. But I suppose that's how it goes. What was it that I wanted to say? Someone else, please continue, that I can get my thoughts back here. Allegra, you haven't said much. And Suli, you haven't said much either.
Well, the reason being is that my internet keeps crashing, and like it did the first time, but this morning it was perfect. So I don't know. Let's see what happens. So I'm just honored to be in this book and to be meeting all of you, and I'm looking forward to connecting even more to each and every one of you and reading the whole entire book. Like I said this morning, it really is a birth without the pain. And it really is a wonderful feeling. I've been waiting for this for how long is it now? Months and months and months, almost a year. And it really is a wonderful feeling to be part of this journey with all of you together. And like I said again this morning, I said it again yesterday, it is transformative and it's life-changing. The information contained within this book is profound wisdom, and it will, I'm absolutely sure, change many, many, many lives. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Letting me be part of it.
And Suli, a word from you?
Well, as I mentioned this morning, I'm sorry, I'm in a kind of a daze, because it feels like it was an age ago that we met, and yet it was only a few hours ago. But I feel the energy of this book, and it is extraordinary, and it's building all the time. There's kind of, I see an image of a book opening, and it's kind of like lights shining out from the pages, and all our essences, all our hearts. We poured ourselves into the book, our stories, our vulnerabilities. In fact, Lisa did a beautiful card reading it earlier, one of the authors, and I managed to catch it. And she brought a card out for me, and it was vulnerability, and I can't remember what the other thing was, but it was absolutely spot on, because there is a certain vulnerability when you open your heart, when you pour yourself out onto the page to people, and I think it's a very powerful thing to do. And all of that is in the book, from all of you wonderful women who are from diverse backgrounds, different stories, and yet there's a common thread. And so all of it, I see, well, like these threads coming together, almost like a tapestry of light coming into the book, and then the book opens and it's like, phew. So yes, absolutely, pick the book up, open the page, or as you said, scroll and see where it stops, because your intuition, your heart, your soul will, yeah, woo, will guide you
Awesome.
to it. Will guide
There
you to
you have it.
And there you go. And I feel the light from that. So yeah, it's an extraordinary living thing. It's an
It is a
organic
living thing.
living thing.
And something that's really important is that there is no sniff or a hint or whatever of any chat GPT in here. This is all written by real people from their real hearts.
Yeah.
Remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, something, if I can just say, something comes to mind. It's the words of Joseph Campbell. And there's Joseph Campbell was the anthropologist who wrote the book, The Hero with a Thousand Faces, Concept of the Hero's Journey. And in one of the interviews that I heard him speaking in, one thing that he says that Suli just made me think of it right now, was the fact that a vital person vitalizes, that's it. And just like that, this book vitalizes, the art of a teacher, the knowledge, the wisdom of a real teacher that really has something profound to teach that can change lives. And this is contained within the book over and over and over again. So yeah, it's wonderful.
It is absolutely wonderful. And what is also amazing is that, is the different facets that we add to our business. Because if you look at Kathy, now Kathy is not just a writer or a coach. She's a surfer. She actually has a whole clothing line for women, board shorts, that she has launched just now. So tell us a little bit about that, Kathy.
It's been a journey, as is life. And the thing is, it doesn't matter what we're creating. It all happens in the same way. Because with the board shorts, what I did was it went on Kickstarter, and now it's moving to an e-commerce. And what I did with it was first create a community of people who were interested in getting outside more, in exercising, and finding something available also, because in USA anyway, things come in small, medium, large, but there's no inclusive sizes. And along the journey, I got to I got to challenge that notion, because there were so many things in place. Even on the Kickstarter, when I had a company who was doing the collection of all the data to send to me so I could ship. It took 2 weeks, and then they said, we can't do it. You offer too many choices to people. It won't fit in the software. I mean, it was everywhere. And it really helped me approach it from a place of not fight, but love and compassion and understanding, and say, okay, I get that that's how your system works, but what can we do to change that? And I showed them a way that it could be done. So it's like those things out there that I experienced were no different than what happens when we write a book, what happens when we put out a new coaching program, what happens when we're serving the world in any way. Like, we create the community, The community brings the energy into it. The community also brings the data into it. Like I created a community of almost 2,000 people ahead who were giving me input all along the way too. Like, hey, what do you guys think about this? What about making this adjustment in them? And I sent things out to testers before I did it. So building it in that way, you already have the ground of it. Like you've built the foundation of the house. So no matter where the house goes, you can adapt and change as you get input about, oh, wait a minute, not this way, but that way. It's kind of, it's intuition mixed with strategy of, yeah, that doesn't look right. No, let's don't do it that way. Let's go over here instead and try this. So it was pretty neat about how to do it. And along the way, I learned like how to run my own Facebook ads, there was so many of those technical things that I had to jump in and just go, okay, I may not feel all the time like I have the technical skills, but if indeed, like we are one body, while I'm working on Facebook ads, I got Mark Zuckerberg's energy inside of me. Like certainly that can take over right now and do this. And it was so easy. Like it became where I try to always bring the joy and the fun into something. And it made it very easy to sit down and just do it without getting in my head and going, oh, this is hard. I can't do it. I just did step by step. What's next? So it was a great experience. I don't know. I know what's next is going in a new platform that I actually am a partner on with somebody and an affiliate of, because it's all in one place thing. And so it has just opened so many doors in my learning and experience along the way, that it was the hard object that came to the world. But what I learned along the journey of that hard object were major life lessons about myself, about humans. I mean, it's been a beautiful part of what we do. And I think when it comes down to it, because people said, board shorts, like that's not what you do. You work with people on stress. And I said, absolutely. And these stressed out people, if they can get out in nature and feel comfortable with themselves and good about being out there, then we're going to create a happier, healthier world that's not stressed. Like they need downtime. I want to give them a tool for that. So no matter what we do in our business, we're always standing for that transformed world. It just looks like all kinds of different things. Like if we looked at all the stuff that all of this group does, I'm sure everybody has different aspects of their business, but they're all about a transformed world. And that thing this morning, Dina, that I was so excited. It was actually yesterday for me, last night. When I looked, I could feel the energy of the world transforming. Like it was so incredible. I looked at it and I was just like, wow, like the book is already out there with everybody's energy come together collectively, and transformation is occurring in a bigger way.
Yeah.
That to me was just, it gives me goosebumps right now still talking about it. And that is the neatest thing, when we can create things and see that happen.
That's beautiful.
Awesome.
And just to let you know that we are already a hot new release in the US.
Woo! Woo!
We're not at number 1 yet, but we are climbing.
We're climbing.
We are seen as a hot new release.
We'll go do our reviews and send out more messages.
Yes. And do that. Send out the messages. Inspire people. Talk about it. We want to sell a lot of books today and really lift the vibration in doing that. And of course, celebrate all the way. So I hope you can join me later again, if you can. It's 3 p.m. EST. That's 9 p.m. my time, 9 p.m. Europe time, 8 p.m. UK time, and we will then see where we are with the US. And I hope we can celebrate number one in
We will.
in all of the categories. But now we've got work to do. Let's get it, people to buy it. I'll see you later.
Bye, ladies. Love you.
Love you. Bye.
Love you too.